everyone, this is Tony from Her Homestead Skills. This morning I was going to go out and do more shopping, in spite of the fact that Mark told me not to buy any more food. I tend to listen to him when I choose to and ignore him when I choose to do that too. I did reiterate to him that considering what's happening and that the American truckers look like they're getting into the fray, there could be a shortage of many things depending on how things go. But he still felt we were fine, which is okay. I still plan to go out and do a bit of shopping tomorrow. Today was just a little bit late getting out and about. And I had also put on a pot of chicken stock, of course, yesterday, and it is ready to be canned today. I was going to can it when I got back, but it looks like that's my job for today. As well, I have been tuning in to live videos of the People's Convoy and listening to some of the speeches, and I pray for these folks because this is not fun. At least we'll have better weather than the poor folks in Ottawa did. Anyway, I'm off to do some canning and perhaps I'll be back a little later. Well, I decided that perhaps we can chat while I put my chicken stock in jars and put it into a pressure can. And I do have everything ready. I have my canner set up with 3 quarts of water because that's what that particular size of canner wants. And I've got all my jars laid out here. I've got 10 of them. I may use only 9. That's normally what I would get, but I could get a 10th, so I've got that ready as well. I've got my lids, and I've got my vinegar. Oh, and I'm going to turn off the camera for a minute so I can get my rings. Okay, now I have my supply of rings as well, so I'm ready to start canning up this chicken stock. And it seems to be a bit of a weekly occurrence these days. Anyway, I just thought I'd have a little chat while we were doing this. And this morning I'm the one who's now watching what's happening in the US rather than what's happening in Canada. Well, even still, what's happening in Canada is not over by any stretch of the imagination. I understand, on the positive side, that some of the seized bank accounts are being unseized. I don't know what the criteria they're using to free up the bank accounts, but if that wasn't a ridiculous move, I don't know what is. As someone said to me, when you take away everything from a person, then they've got nothing to lose. So perhaps there's somebody had a little chat with our friends in Ottawa and perhaps informed them of that particular reality. So, but we'll see what happens. I've also heard that of the truckers that left with their rigs, they didn't necessarily leave, that they are camped on private property not far from Ottawa, and have no idea what their next step is. I don't think they know yet either, but they haven't gone home for whatever reason. There could be a multitude of reasons why they're not going home. But apparently there are a few encampments not too far away. And yes, the police do know about these encampments, but they're on private property with the permission from the owners. So there's literally nothing anyone can do in that respect, hopefully, unless they harass the private owners, which wouldn't surprise me at all. So now back to today's the day of the beginnings of the People's Convoy in the US. And that's also a bit disconcerting. Not that they're doing it. I think they have every right to, as did the Canadians, to protest. The issue, of course, is doing it as legally as possible so as to avoid any serious repercussions. But, yeah, might be a little more difficult. Americans are a little more free-minded and they understand that they have rights, whereas in Canada, I don't know that we have any rights. Certainly don't have the Second Amendment. We really don't have the First Amendment. Our speech is controlled to a certain degree. There are hate speech laws in effect. So if you say the wrong thing, you certainly can be taken to court and charged. So, anyway, I was listening to the start of some of the speeches from some of the participants in the People's Convoy, and I think that that will be an interesting event. And it's going to last 11 days, and they do not intend to break any laws. They want it to be all legal as well, and I highly recommend that, because the only ones that get hurt are the ones that break the laws. Whether done with right on your side or not, breaking the law doesn't help anyone. So I have to pray for both our countries at this point. We're all experiencing some really ugly things. And it looks like I made 10 jars here. Yay! So that extra one was needed. Okay, now of course, what is the most important thing with chicken stock, because it is greasy, especially the way my husband likes it, is to make sure the edges are all clean. And I use a heavy-duty vinegar. I actually can buy 3 grades of vinegar here. Just your regular 5%, then canning vinegar is 7%, and I also buy a cleaning vinegar, which is 10%, and that's the acidic value in it. So, yeah, they can be pretty strong, and I really don't care sometimes which one I use for this. Really doesn't really matter. Now I believe, and since I'm not sure, I'm going to redo these. I'm going to do a couple at a time and then put them in the can. A couple, 2 or 3. Oh dear me. And this seems to have become a weekly requirement for the time being. Hopefully when it starts to get warmer, Mark will not be drinking a pint of chicken stock every morning. I think he believes it's therapeutic, keeps him healthy. He also enjoys the taste, I'm sure. I asked him if he wanted me to put some salt in it. Now, when I make my chicken stock, I always throw in onions and celery and carrots. Even just 1 onion, along with the skin, and that helps you get that lovely color that I have here. Not too much, but I haven't put any spices or salt in the last few batches. And I asked him if he wanted me to put some salt in, and he says no, that he always puts a tiny bit of salt in when he's warming it up in the morning anyway. So fine. It's fine. Now, when I was shopping yesterday at Costco, I also did go to another store previous to that, and they had more of this, the chicken breasts that have been, what they do, I guess, is they clean off the breast of skin and bone, and then you have the perfectly clean chicken fillets that some people love. And they just sell the chicken carcass without the skin, 4 in a pack for $2. So I did pick up another 2 packs. The last time I picked up 3, and I find that when I make chicken stock, I'll use a pack and a half, so I'll use 6 chicken carcasses, and that gets me anywhere from like 9, I have today 10 jars. So I do have enough for another batch, and then I will have to go get more for a 3rd batch. But this and making bread seems to be something that I have to do all the time, which is fine. Okay, getting back to our folks down south. I wish you all the best. It isn't an easy road to hoe. You can see that is what happened here. Although understandably, your laws are different and you have a lot more freedom than we do. So. And hopefully things will go much better for you. Now, folks up here in Canada were charged with mischief, which I don't believe is all that serious. But I don't know. Okay, can't fit the 10th one in the bottom. So, I'm going to get a second tray and take a few of them out, at least 2, and put them on the top. Okay, there we have it. Now we'll just wait till that comes to. I've got the canner set up here with the lid on, and we're just going to have to wait for it to boil and to have full steam here for 10 minutes before we put the, oh, as usual, I almost forgot, the vinegar. Yep, that one is the vinegar. Ooh. And of course that is the cleaning vinegar, which is pretty powerful. Okay, so as I said, we'll just have to wait for the steam to vent for a full 10 minutes. And what that does is it expresses the air out of the canner so that there's no excess air in the canner, and you can get it up to a higher temperature than what you can if you're just boiling it on the stove. So once that has vented for 10 minutes, then we can put our 10-pound pressure weight on here, and we can, I believe, can for 20 minutes. I'll double check that, but I believe it's 20 minutes for pints. Okay. Of course, all that's left here is to clean up as usual. And, you know, it always surprises me how much meat there actually is on these carcasses. And anyway, I just don't have what it takes to pick it off. Okay, just want to finish with the idea that, yes, we will be watching what happens down south and praying for those folks that join this protest, and hope things go well. This is Tony from Her Homestead Skills. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.